That is former President Trump boarding his plane on his way to Washington to face 4 felony charges of trying to interfere with the 2020 election. This is being called the most important criminal prosecution in American history. Security is extra tight, especially given that scare yesterday at the Capitol. Stephen Fabian is in Washington with the very latest.
There he goes. That's former President Trump leaving his New Jersey country club Thursday en route to his historic arraignment. His 5-car motorcade wound through the country roads, arriving at Newark Airport at 2 p.m. His black and gold Trump-embossed plane departing for the nation's capital. He touched down in D.C. shortly before 3 p.m., and another motorcade whisked him downtown to the U.S. federal courthouse. Security preparations began overnight with metal barricades set up along the sidewalks, hours after a scary evacuation at the Capitol. Security is really beefed up around the courthouse here in Washington, D.C. If you look over my shoulder, this is actually the rear of the building where President Trump surrendered himself over to authorities. But look at this. Lining this street, you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, more than a half dozen snowplows in August here in Washington, D.C. And it's not because of the weather. These snowplows are in place because of security. They want to divert traffic and keep this building safe.
The city is on edge security-wise. Law enforcement, both that you can see, law enforcement that you can't see, scrubbing through leads, looking for things that look out of place, looking to lock the city down and make sure this goes off without a hitch today.
I'm above the law! A few Trump hecklers walked around taunting a handful of Trump supporters.
This is election interference at its finest against the leading candidate right now for president, for either party.
Inside the courtroom, Donald Trump listened intently and pled not guilty to the judge after identifying himself as Donald J. Trump, John, identifying his middle name. He also gave his age, 7'7". Sitting in the front row in the courtroom was special counsel Jack Smith, observing the whole situation. Also in the courtroom, some of the police officers who were on hand during the January 6th insurrection. Trump's defense strategy is under fire today. He's expected to claim he really, truly believed he won the election, and still does. Many experts are calling it
the delusion defense, that he actually believed his own lies.
But as former Attorney General Bill Barr says, Trump knew the truth.
Do you think he knew that he lost the election?
Yeah, at first I wasn't sure, but I have come to believe that he knew well that he had lost the election.
Trump's attorneys say they'll also argue that he was simply exercising his right to free speech when he schemed to overturn the election. But that strategy is also coming under fire.
If you and I get together and plot to rob a bank, is that exercising our free speech? No, it is a criminal conspiracy.
The judge assigned to Trump's case is Tanya Chutkin, who has presided over the trials of numerous January 6 rioters.
She has consistently been the toughest judge when it comes to sentencing.
I mean, 31 defendants already she has sentenced. I mean, they've exceeded recommendations from the prosecutors 9 times. That's pretty significant.
Exactly. She is tough.
Trump says it's impossible for him to get a fair trial in Washington.
Would you seek a venue change?
Absolutely. That's one of
Where
the
do you
first
want it to
things
go
we're gonna
instead?
do. Well, there's other options. I mean, there's certainly West Virginia, which is close by.